Do you remember when we had like 10 minutes left on this? It's reset.
What do you mean it's reset?
You know how we only had like 10 minutes last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely reset now. I haven't done anything. It's just reset.
Fair enough.
How
then.
weird's that?
That's not bad.
Welcome to Unfiltered Friendship. Each and every week we bring you uncontrollable laughter, rants, and figuring out what the fuck we're doing with our lives. There is explicit content, so if you don't like it...
Don't fucking listen.
Correct.
I am George.
I'm Mason.
I'm sexy man.
Sexy man, baby. Right, we are back with a lovely true crime episode because it has been a month, because at the moment I'm only doing every other week. Do apologise, not sorry.
Slay.
No, I've got so much shit going on.
Well.
Like obviously the past weekend I've had Emily's wedding. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm just trying to be able to talk into this a lot easier while being able to see your face.
Well, you don't need to currently, do you?
Well, okay then.
Yeah, I had Emily's wedding and I had to deal with that. And then work, of course. Dealing with a liar in work.
Oh.
So
Okay.
that's a new development. Yeah.
The one you said about?
Who did I say about?
Yesterday.
The other day?
Yesterday.
I don't know who you're on about.
Yesterday. Yesterday.
No.
Okay.
No. You know when I said that was lying beforehand, and I had to go and play that game of truth or a lie about her.
I don't think you said about that one.
Oh, I'll tell you afterwards then, because it's got juicy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got juicy.
Development.
Anyway, let's get into this. This is your true crime episode, which everyone absolutely fucking loves. So
This is good.
that is good. You are welcome.
I'll
And you two are the only ones that have done one. So
slay.
yeah, cool.
Third one. Third one.
Third one. Yeah, it is your third one, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
did too.
You've done 3. You've both done 3.
This
Are
is
you
the
okay?
third one.
Yeah, are you
So we
okay?
haven't done 3. I've done 2. Bailey's done 1.
Bailey's done 2.
Have you?
Yes. Oh my, what's that face?
I don't remember.
My memory
Yeah,
shit.
you've both done the...
Well, because I could have sworn that for one of them you sat it out.
No.
True crime.
Oh, you got
Bailey's
something in
been
your
it.
eye.
Bailey's mind's been going every single one of them. You can smell the cogs burning in his head.
That's just figuring out how to string a sentence together.
Okay, yeah, fair.
I thought he was on about me for a second then.
I was about to get offended.
No. I said Bailey, not you. Anyway, shall we crack on?
Okay.
Shall we crack?
Christ. Attacks?
Do I need to time you out?
No.
Okay. So. What was that keys? Can I have the keys?
No.
Okay. I don't actually want the keys, mate. Why have you got so many keys?
I am a bit of an avid collector of
Oh, I
key
didn't know
rings.
you actually done that.
Yeah, you did it, didn't you?
Yeah. It's just one from the arcade.
That's
And then I
credit.
just took the old one out and put a fresh photo in.
Fair.
Slay.
Tesco club card being like...
See, like I said, I'm just an avid
Call
collector.
of Duty. I thought that said you make me laugh, you make me gay. But it
Wow.
doesn't. It says make me cry. Brother. My woman baby. Oh, that's so cute. Question.
So that one is for... So Bailey's made like this little... What is it, like this amplifier?
Key holder.
Yeah.
Right.
Key holder with like
Oh,
the
that's
amplifier sticks.
cool.
Trolley.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Carbonator, cool.
Who?
They're called carbonators.
Never heard of them.
They're called carbonators.
I just own them.
Bottle opener.
The,
I fell tower.
What she said.
the one from Bailey.
A broken cross.
It's an anchor.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an anchor, but it snapped.
That's-
There's a new one.
On the side table.
Cool.
But I'm scared to put it on there and break it again.
A galaxy.
A Galaxy.
Bailey got me that.
And that's about it. Here you go. Right, can we get on with the episode now, please?
Sure. Why not?
Thank
Why
you.
not?
Okay. Right. Glasgow.
Glasgow.
In 1984. Bailey, I'm waiting for your impression now, mate.
No, I was just making sure if I was alive or not.
What? Oh, 1984.
Yeah.
No, mate, you really wasn't.
You were though.
No, I wasn't, you bastard. No, I wasn't.
I know. You were conceived in that year.
Oh my god.
Own it.
Oh, no! Right. Let me fucking go. Hello?
Papa?
Papa? I actually called him Papa.
Papa, darling.
Papa. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, right. Sorry, I thought you was live.
We are.
Oh, beg your pardon.
Right.
Glasgow.
Glasgow. 1984. I was not conceived. I was not born. Bailey's just a twat. So in that time, not a week goes by without someone getting murdered.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It basically, Glasgow back then was quickly getting the name of
Did I do that?
I am going to kill you. Every week. Every week you do something.
Well, we've got to keep it spicy.
So in that time,
Okay.
Glasgow was quickly getting the name of the murder capital of Europe.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because it was literally every week
Mm.
there was a new murder, and it was not pretty, basically. And on September 27th, 1984, Glasgow stood up to that quickly growing name as another victim fell short to a gruesome murder. Mary McLaughlin was, try saying that 10 times fast.
Do it.
Mary.
No.
Say it 10 times fast,
What
but
was the second name?
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin.
say it 10 times in a Scottish accent.
Mary Gloughlin. Mary Gloughlin. Mary Gloughlin. Mary Gloughlin.
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin.
That sounds more Irish.
McLaughlin.
Yeah, that's Irish, mate.
I did tell you I can't do accents.
He swaps accents, so funny. Anyway, so Mary McLaughlin was 58 years old at the time.
Damn, she's old.
What? Did you just say she's old?
Damn, she's old.
So you do know my mum is 64 and my dad is 63.
Oh, George was old.
You need to watch your mouth.
I can't. Okay. I can't actually see my lips.
Yeah, you can.
That's weird.
What the hell?
Moist.
Can we carry on?
Oh, that's what my tongue looks like. Yeah, proceed.
Welcome to this week.
Where Bailey is being Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mary McLaughlin was 58 years old. Her family described her as a happy person, petite, with vibrant red hair. She loved to play dominoes and go to the pub and socialise with her friends. Mary had 11 children from 2 fathers. She walked out on the first 6 children and then went on to have a further 5, but subsequently walked out on those 2. On September 26th, Mary put on her brand new dress and headed out to her favourite pub, which at the time was called Highland Pub. Everyone knew Mary. Everyone loved Mary. She was the life of the party. A few games of dominoes and a few drinks later, Mary called it a night at 10:15, like 10:30 p.m, and left her friends in the pub, telling them that she'll see them soon. She only had less than a mile until she was back in the comforts of her flat. So what do you do on a night, like on after a night out? You go to the kebab shop, right?
Yeah.
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 You just fucking go to the kebab
Yeah, I
shop.
always used to drag you to the kebab shop after we well, I say kebab shop, kebab van.
Oh yeah, kebab van. Yeah.
Halloumi wrap.
Oh
Halloumi
god,
wrap.
halloumi wrap. Beautiful.
Obsessed with that thing.
But back then, Mary went to her favourite chip shop and ordered her fritters and cigarettes because you could.
Fair enough.
Yeah. She had banter with the staff and left with a smile on her face. She had a good night. Walking back barefoot with her shoes in one hand and food in the other, she had no idea that this night would end in the gruesome way it eventually did. Mary wasn't in frequent contact with her big family, but one of her sons, Martin, would visit once a week. October 2nd arrived, and Martin went to Mary's flat for his usual and expected visit to his mother. He knocked on the door, but there was no answer. He explained in BBC Two's documentary that it was normal for Mary to answer the door every time someone knocked on the door. She wasn't one to leave it if she wasn't expecting anyone. But as he waited and waited, he knew something wasn't right. He knelt down in front of the door to her flat and opened the letterbox, hoping to call out to his mother. But as soon as that letterbox creaked open slightly, an awful smell hit his nostrils instantly. Martin forced open the door and saw his mother laying at the bottom of her bed on her back, her false teeth lying on the floor just below her right hand, and he knew instantly that the fate of his mother had been decided. As the police arrived at the scene, they knew it was a murder. You see, Mary had been strangled, and the ligature used was still knotted around her neck, with one big knot in the centre. Her brand new dress was put on back to front.
Oh. So this guy's like... Or
Molested her.
girl, gal, dude, do that. I don't know.
Do that?
Do that.
Do that, yeah. No one knows at this time. No one knows what's going on.
Okay.
The police now had a manhunt on their hands. Mary's flat was shut down immediately. Only forensics and the main police personnel were allowed to entry into the flat. Every item was bagged and every angle was photographed. An ashtray full of cigarettes was collected. A game of dominoes still lying on the table as if it was just finished, just moments before, was photographed. A dressing gown lying over the sofa was collected as evidence. Every surface was dusted for fingerprints. Like, of course, DNA wasn't a thing back then, so when you collected fingerprints, that was your main source to try and get a suspect.
Yeah.
Basically, everything they could get their hands on was logged into evidence. And you got to think, from when she was last seen to when they found her was 6 days.
Bloody hell, that's a long time.
Was the body fresh? Because it explodes after a few days.
Doesn't explode?
It kind of does. All the liquids and forms
decompose.
Yeah. And then you sort of like explode out.
That's what that smell was. When Martin opened up that letterbox, it was her decomposing body.
Charming.
Yeah.
Scrumptious.
Yeah. Detective Ian Wishart led the investigation into Mary's murder. The media gathered as soon as news spread that there had been another murder. But Detective Wishart wouldn't let them know any details at this time because, frankly, he didn't know either. All he knew was that a woman had been murdered, but no motive had been determined yet. The post-mortem examination of Mary opened the box of mysteries and more questions than answers. The coroner carefully removed the ligature from Mary's neck, cutting the opposite side of that central knot so any evidence within that knot would be preserved. As the ligature was removed, the coroner had determined that Mary was strangled from the front, so as she was dying, she had to look into her killer's eyes. This ligature was identified as the belt from her own dressing gown that was draped over her sofa.
Well, oh my god.
Yeah. Detective Wishart had a team of 20 to 30 detectives on this case, and he was determined to solve this horrific attack. He starts by looking into crime scene, trying to find a motive. Instantly, robbery was ruled out as her purse was still lying on the sofa with no contents removed, and her flat was still in the way that she had left it. Nothing was taken. There were many questions surrounding this case. Who had a motive? Where did he come from? Did he stay in the area? Was it just a chance meeting? So many avenues to go down, and they mustn't miss any of them. Wishart stated in the documentary that many murders are domestic, so the initial theory was that it must have been someone close to her. Mary's children quickly became suspicious of each other, claiming that there must be a hidden killer in the family. So police started their hunt with those exact people.
I mean, it would make sense considering, obviously, she walked out on them. Like, they would have at least some ill bearings towards her.
Yeah, but you gotta think she's still in contact with them, just not frequent contact.
But obviously, it's still like a bitter taste for your mother to leave you.
Of course, of course. Yeah. Every single one of those 11 children were questioned in connection to the murder, but all of them were ruled out. The police just couldn't prove anything with them. So their scope grew wider. Detective Wishart went to the media to ask for help. Anyone who knew anything or saw anything was asked to come forward with tips, no matter how small it was. Tips flew in, and the police were soon on their way to catch a killer.
Okay. Quick proceedings.
Not really. You gotta think, after the time that they've spoken to all the children, you gotta think there's 11 of them, so that takes the time. They got to try and go through all the evidence and try and find out what they're doing. It was literally a cry for help. Going, we need help now, so it's down to the public. Give us a hand, basically.
So there was like nothing that signified anything from what they had searched through at all?
Nope, nothing.
So the only thing that is kind of like of significance is that belt of the dressing gown.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Over 1,000 statements were taken, but unfortunately they didn't lead anywhere, but they certainly ruled many people out as suspects. One tip came in, however. What?
I was going to say another cold case started.
Probably. One tip came in, however, from a taxi driver who knew Mary. He called her Wee Mary. He said that on that fateful night, he saw Mary walking home, carrying her shoes, and a lone man following her. That was their new lead. A man with a thin face, a big nose, and a big mouth. Approximately 20 to 25 years old, 5'9" to 5'11". The new question on everyone's minds: was he hunting Mary?
That's a weird one.
What, like hunting?
Yeah.
You gotta think, if someone's just following a woman down the street and then she ends up murdered, like, what's going on there? Is he hunting her? Is he like...
As in, like, watching her for a while beforehand and then going after...
Yeah. Sort of like a premeditated, you know what you're doing.
I mean, I guess in the time it was, like, there was just constant killings. Maybe that wouldn't have been the case.
What do you mean?
That might not have been the case, like, just because she was followed and then killed. That doesn't necessarily mean that it was premeditated in a way, like, considering the amount of killings that were in Glasgow at the time.
Yeah.
It would make sense for it to just be some random timing and that someone just decided, kill someone. Weird thing to decide, but
could have been.
Fair enough on you.
Because there's no DNA around at the time. The lead detective didn't even know what DNA was, like, at the moment in time, because DNA testing didn't come in until 97.
Yeah.
So they had no clue what the fuck like that is. They didn't know they could eventually be tested. They just knew that the only way to catch someone would be fingerprints and try and find the motive, trying to find the opportunity that it could have had. But Bailey, what's on your socks? Is that a cowboy?
No, it's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And I got C-3PO.
I thought it was SpongeBob, to be fair.
What? SpongeBob.
So, unfortunately, after 1 year of investigating, thousands of people questioned, thousands of photos taken, evidence tested, there was nothing the police could do. They couldn't hold on to this case any longer. So in 1985, Mary's case had to be closed as a cold case. One officer who had to give the news to the family told one of Mary's daughters to still have hope that this could be solved one day. Years passed, and there were no signs of this murder being reopened or solved for that matter. There was 4 attempts to even open the case, and they all failed.
Oh, okay. Like, did
Even
they find...
since they've started DNA?
Yeah.
Did they not find anything of significance that they could probably bite onto or something?
I don't know. There's no reporting on it. It was just sort of like 4 attempts just to even open the case failed.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. But that is until 2014,
Ooh.
when Detective Sergeant Kenny McCubbin had a cold case handed to him. It was none other than the case of Mary McLaughlin, 30 years after her murder. With the photo staring him in the face, he knew it was about time to give the remaining family closure and solve this case once and for all. Teaming up with Senior Investigating Officer Mark Henderson and the forensic biologist Joanne Cochran, they were the dream team everyone was waiting for. Whilst McCubbin and Henderson dig through the photographs and reports of the crime scene, Joanne started the forensic side of things. Every piece of evidence collected and stored was still in immaculate condition, as if it was just bagged yesterday.
Fair play.
Joanne noted that one thing caught her attention first: the cigarette butts recovered from the coffee table in Mary's living room. Mary had a preferred brand of cigarette called Woodbine. I don't even know if it's still around. But 2 in particular were of the brand Embassy.
Okay.
Joanne thought that this was perfect because there could be vital DNA on these butts which had never been tested. They haven't even been touched.
They they wouldn't have thought that would have been something of significance during the...
What were they to do with them?
But the attempts to open it, when they had the DNA testing, would that not have been like a first
Mason, I don't know anything about them.
I know. You asked me to ask questions, so I'm asking questions.
I don't even know if they managed to open the case.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
So even if they did, I don't know about it, but I'm pretty sure they didn't even open it. So
Yeah.
they wouldn't have even tested anything. They wouldn't have thought about testing anything because they didn't even open the case.
Wouldn't that be a way to open a case?
No, because you've got to open the case before you test.
That's weird.
You've got to open cold cases to be able to do anything with it. You can't just go ahead with...
Well, yeah, I'm not saying to just go ahead with it, but go off of the fact that there could be something there. If it's not there, then close it quickly then, but...
Okay, so drop the times that they didn't open. I shouldn't have even said it. Should not have said it because you're going to hold on to it. Drop it.
You know I hold on to these things.
Just drop it because there's nothing
dropping
that... Thank you. So with careful dismantling of the cigarette butts, of the Embassy cigarette butts found, Joanne recovered trace amounts of DNA which gave a full male profile. With that, the DNA was entered into the national database of people who have been convicted of crimes. Now, it's just a waiting game. It wasn't long until Joanne got an email notification. It's from the database. She scrolled right to the bottom of the email to the part which says match or no match. As she takes a look, it says there's a direct match to a man called Graham McGill. He was incarcerated for serious sexual offences, including rape and attempted rape. He preyed on lone females who were walking home alone. What?
Well, maybe the fact that she had the dressing gown rope tied around her, obviously he was doing something with her then. Probably.
Mm.
Probably. Maybe, potentially. You don't know.
McCubbin and Henderson now had a suspect in their midst. But on closer examination, it couldn't be Graham McGill.
Huh?
See, he was in prison at the time, serving a 6-year sentence starting when he was 19.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, there's a good reason.
Then how old were those cigarette butts?
McGill wasn't released until just 3 days after Mary was found by her son.
So, how
was
does it make
22.
sense for them to be in there?
Unless he done it as soon as he came out.
No, she had died by then. She was found dead 3 days before he was released from
I
prison.
found it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you got to think that's 6 days.
Bloody hell.
Now a new question surfaced. Was the cigarettes planted there?
Oh.
But no matter what route they went down, nothing was plausible to the detectives. Detective Kenny McCubbin went to the Crown prosecution with the DNA match from the cigarette butts. But unfortunately, they couldn't prosecute as it wasn't enough to convict him. So now was back to the drawing board. Not for Joanne Cochran, though. She still had more DNA evidence to go through. Now she looked into the ligature, the belt of Mary's dressing gown. It still had the knot in it, unopened and untested, not seen the light of day for 30 years. The only problem was that Mary had already been decomposing, which means her fluids are swarming this ligature, making it nearly impossible for Joanne to gather trace amounts of someone else's DNA from it. Piece by piece, she unravelled the knot, collecting evidence every time a piece had been exposed for the first time. All DNA collected from that knot was put into the database, and a match came back instantly. Graham McGill, he tied that knot. Her dress was put on back to front. A small piece of it was cut out of the initial investigation back in 1984 because there was a semen stain identified on it. Joanne has that piece.
Proper dried up cum.
DNA collected and put into that database. An instant match came back. Who?
Graham McGill.
Graham McGill. But how was that possible? He had the perfect alibi. He was in prison.
Unless he was released a few days earlier on good behaviour and they just didn't change the books.
Nope. No, not at all. So Detective McCubbin and Senior Officer Henderson needed to find records of this man's time in prison. There was a problem though. The prison that he was in was rebuilt and records were lost. Conveniently.
Yes, conveniently his records were lost. And
All, pretty much, nearly all of the records were lost.
how does that just happen?
Don't know, it's a
Surely that
rebuilt,
should be, like-
misplacement. You never know.
Stupid people.
I know. This didn't stop him though. McCubbin and Henderson knew they had to go old school to try and find the records, so they went to the library to look at the prison records for Graham McGill in 1984. Kenny recovered the governor's journals. 1984. One entry in the whole book. And it only had a prison number and a name. G. McGill, TFF. One thing they knew for sure was that TFF stood for Training for Freedom. McGill had a weekend home leave to prepare for the outside world after 6 years of incarceration. The date he was let out? The same time.
Yeah.
The same time Mary was murdered.
Yep.
He returned to the prison on the 27th, just hours after the murder. He thought he'd gotten away to... Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
He thought he had gotten away with it. That was until the police knocked on his door December 4th, 2019, and arrested him for the murder of Mary McLaughlin in 1984. Every interview he had given and every time he was spoken to, he gave a no comment answer.
Bloody hell.
They don't care. They have their man. They don't care. The trial was pushed back until April 2021 because of the pandemic. But when it went underway, there was no going back.
Excuse you?
Is that a bird?
Or the pigeon?
Cool. A pigeon?
The pigeon.
Okay. Graham McGill denied assaulting and killing Mary. But Joanne knew that this whole trial landed on her shoulders. She had to prove that every bag of evidence was sealed and not contaminated in any way, and every procedure that she had taken was the correct one. Every move she made had to be documented for this exact moment. And that's exactly what she done. DNA was the forefront of this case. She had to prove it. Henderson said in the BBC documentary that the final nail in Graham's coffin was a confession he made to his ex-wife about how he had murdered an elderly lady and strangled her because he wanted to know how it felt. This sadistic man took great pleasure in carrying out this murder.
That's a weird thing to want to know.
What, just knowing how it feels to murder someone is disgusting.
Yeah, that's like some psychopathic behaviour.
Yeah. The jury didn't take long to come back with a verdict. Guilty. The judge at the time, Lord Burns, made the following statement. Quote, 36 years after the death of Mary McLaughlin, you have been convicted of her murder. She was 58 when she died and you were 22. You are now 59. Her family knew that her murderer must have been someone large in the community. They had never given up the hope that someday they find out what had happened to her. They have been deprived of her love and companionship. It is due to the perseverance of police authorities, and in particular the forensic biologist, that your guilt could be demonstrated. The evidence showed that your chance encounter with Mary McLaughlin that night allowed you to take advantage of a vulnerable and lonely woman who was probably intoxicated. The attack took place within her own home to which she may have invited you. She was wholly unable to defend herself against any attack from someone like you. End quote. Graham McGill was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 14 years before the possibility of parole. Mary's family have finally got the closure they have wanted for 36 years. And the documentary, that is literally the prime source for this case, is called The Hunt for Mary McLaughlin's Killer on BBC Two. I highly recommend watching it. You get to see crime scene photos. You get to see the photo of Graham and Mary and their children talk. Well, two of her children, Martin, the one that found her, and her daughter Jill, that was pretty much the one that told police that I think it might be one of the family members. But obviously...
She was just automatically trying to throw everyone under the bus. She was like...
she was like, you go. No, all the children thought it was one of them. There was 11 of them. Like, someone must have had a grudge.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't. It was just this disgusting man who wanted to know how it felt to murder someone.
That's insane.
So yeah, he strangled her. He sexually assaulted her. And that was it. And she wasn't found till 6 days later.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So you said he was 19 at the time that he was...
Incarcerated.
Oh, right, okay. So
the first time round.
He started all that early then, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus.
But he got out when he was 22, so he didn't do his full sentence because he got out on good behaviour. But then obviously, God, how many... 30 years down the line.
I can only imagine how that felt after 30 odd years down the line.
36 years down the line.
Getting away with it.
Boom.
Just them to knock on your door and be like, yeah.
You're under arrest for the murder of Mary McLaughlin. Yeah.
That probably felt like, what the fuck?
He's been caught. All because of Joanne Cochran's.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Go on, Joanne.
Go on, Joanne, my love.
I don't know why that sounded Jamaican.
It did.
Go on, Joanne.
Go on, Joanne. Yeah, so it's basically that. Joanne, I was literally just looking at like different cold cases, and like that had been solved, because I know, Mace, you said that you don't like unsolved things.
I just don't like cliffhangers. So when
Right.
there's like, that's all we know, it's like, what the fuck? Don't like that.
What, like the Zodiac
Yeah.
episode? Yeah, because
I really enjoyed that episode.
yeah.
But it was just like, I want to know more.
Yeah, I understand. You wanted to know who done it and everything. So I searched for cold cases that took ages to be solved. So this one was because of you.
Hey.
And I did find another one, and it was actually quite interesting. I think it was like 40 years or something like that. No, it wasn't. It was longer than that. But it wasn't
As interesting.
that's interesting. It was literally just like I was looking for cold cases, and then it came up with an article in The Sun saying how cigarette butts sold a 30-year cold case. And I was like, excuse me.
I'm
Clicked
sorry.
on it. Boom. There we go.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks, Mace.
You're welcome.
Yeah. He gave me the idea. Okay, I need a solved one now.
Literally, like, cool, I done it. Like, normally, by the end of it, I'd be like, so, what's going on here?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know. I can't tell you that.
I'm like, I want to know.
I know. But now I've tied it up with a nice little bow for you. And
very
baby,
pretty
the
bow.
cogs in your brain can stop turning now.
I was just saying your choice of words then wasn't really. You ended it with a nice bow.
Tied it up with a nice bow.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
She had a knot round her.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Nice tied up.
Oh.
George, what's your name?
Pardon?
What's your real name?
Georgia?
Okay, don't worry. You're
What?
too slow.
I don't understand. What
You're on about knots, so I was like, okay, what's your real name?
are you on about?
What?
Don't worry. It's not even worth explaining.
I'm really confused.
Sam.
It's not hard.
Fuck you.
No, I don't actually understand what you're trying to go with this. How is my name anything to do with knots?
It's not.
Then explain it.
You mentioned it being ended or tied up in a knot.
Yeah, tied up in a bow,
in a
yeah.
bow. Then I was like, bad choice of words.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh, talking about knots, what's your real name? Suggesting, are you the actual killer?
Oh, right.
That
That was as slow as me. Like, I...
Shit.
Yeah, retarded.
Okay. Right. Okay.
I would say end on that high, but that was slow.
That was almost about to be a cold case.
Yeah, that joke question, honestly.
Unsolved.
Okay, so next one, guys. 4 weeks from now. Would you like a mystery one or a cold case? Depends if you're doing it, though, actually.
We're being replaced.
You're not. It just depends if someone else wants to do one. All right, okay, so next one, let's get you to do one.
Please, thank you.
Okay, do you want a
Thank you.
mystery or a solved cold case?
Mystery.
Oh, you're going that way. Okay.
Alternate it.
Oh, all right, okay.
What do you mean by mystery? Just one that's not been solved?
Yeah. All right, so in that case, would you like a random one or do you want a serial killer one?
You know what?
I'll let you decide.
I'll have a look around at serial killers, like unsolved cases, and then I'll get you to do the research. I'll find one that piques my interest.
Okay, and you get me to do the
You
research.
You haven't got time for that.
Yeah, you don't have time for that.
I can do it at work.
How?
Supposed to
You
be
don't have
working.
time for that?
What do you mean?
What, just stand around?
That's pretty much what I do at work.
You've heard it here first, guys.
You've heard it here first. Mason does fuck all in work. Okay. Whereas me and Bailey actually work our asses off every time we're in work.
Oh my god.
And after work.
Well, you after work as well. Me, I've got to sort all this shit out. I've got to do tattoos and
And on my
everything.
days off.
Yeah, and on your days off.
But I do have to stand up all day, so.
So do I.
So do I.
I am both
Oh,
walking,
wow.
lifting things at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I make myself busy at work.
Oh, with those fragile hands, I'm so sorry.
Exactly. Gotta look after them. Because, like, look at that.
Oh my god, you got a cut in
Damaged
your hand.
myself.
Have you seen that cardboard cut?
Why'd you do that for?
It was really deep.
That was silly.
That was on
See
a
my
box of quavers.
calluses on my hands.
Oh, I know.
From plastering every wall in our house.
I'm sorry, what?
Plastering all
There
our
we
walls
go.
in our
Plastering.
house.
Yeah,
And carrying... My back is in pieces from carrying this renovation.
it should be. It should be. You're doing all the work. Mason, what have you done recently in that house?
I've sanded,
fridge in
I've
it.
painted, I bring the fucking fridge and the microwave in.
Right, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Bailey, what have you done in this house currently?
Are you sitting comfortably? I've knocked down a wall. I've studded a wall. I've plastered every single wall upstairs,
Mhm.
minus a chimney. I've built a wardrobe.
Mhm.
I've also hung up the curtain rail.
Mhm.
I've
Painted?
Painted. I've sanded everything.
Oh, you
In
had
the
to
main
put
bedroom.
the plasterboard on the roof?
Yep, plasterboard.
We all did that.
No. He was there trying to find the beams in there. Don't give...
I
you
was
got to give
doing
it...
that. I was finding
No, you
the beams.
fucking wasn't. Give Bailey
I was
the
in
credit.
loft. Yeah.
Yeah, you were in the loft doing
Finding
it,
them.
but when we were down there, you couldn't find them. You couldn't find them.
I
Your
wasn't
mum
even
couldn't find them.
trying.
I could find them.
I was just stood there.
Thank you. Excuse you. You about to get a...
Carry on, Bailey.
Yeah, I ripped out an old manky kitchen and put in a
Mhm.
new one.
Yeah.
I've replaced
With drawers that
a
you couldn't get into there.
rubbish door with a new door.
Yeah?
We did that together.
I've taken off a load of architraves, doors, skirting,
Yeah? Yeah.
picture rails.
Yeah.
I haven't really done much wallpaper stripping because fuck that.
No, we done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We done wallpaper stripping. I took off quite a few of the picture rails. I took off skirting
Yeah, they're
boards.
in every
I-
room.
Yeah, I stripped off the rest of the stairs off of the carpet grippers.
I done that, thank
Proceed.
you.
Yeah.
You done half the stairs, I done the rest of them.
No.
We picked up the flooring.
Oh, I've done
Yeah, we took up the flooring. Yes,
Took up the flooring.
we
Put
did
some
do that.
door lining. Put the door lining in for the 2 rooms upstairs.
Yeah, you have to make new door frames, yeah.
Yep. I've helped thread some new cable through. I hadn't done much with plumbing. My dad's done all that on his own.
So,
I put a lintel in to hold the house up.
yes,
out
you
the back.
did. Yeah, out the back, yeah, you did.
Yep. Done sorted through all the rubbish.
Where did those
got
bricks
it
come
all
from,
in,
Bailey? Who cleaned up the bricks for you so you could actually put them in there? Me. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
You wouldn't have had bricks otherwise.
I would have.
Yeah, you would have done it yourself, but then you didn't have to.
Anyway.
Plus, every single time we're
Okay,
there, you
let's
don't
not go.
give me anything to do. I ask, what do you want me to do? You don't give me anything.
You know
I
what
asked,
to do
what
today.
do
and
you
you
want
didn't even
me-
go there.
All
I
right,
did go
enough. Enough. Enough.
God
Mason.
forbid I have a day off.
Mason, you know we are joking, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's irritating me now. So we need to stop.
That's why I'm saying enough. Okay. Got all the foots going now as well. Oh, right, okay. That's it for this episode. Did you guys enjoy that one?
Yes, yeah, it was good.
Thank you. Okay. Email unfilteredfriendship@gmail.com for anything that you want or need. Okay, I'm getting the evils now from Mason. Look at this face, baby. Have you seen his fucking face? Going evils now. Or you can message on WhatsApp on 0759 111 5523. follow on Instagram and TikTok, Unfiltered Friendship the podcast. I'll be posting more videos up very soon. And yeah, come back next week, guys. I'll tell everyone about us as well. So I've got a thumbs up from Bay. Cool. Love you guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.